So this card ticks all the right boxes for me. It has traditional Christmas colours, it's got your red, gold and green, and it features a really cute snowman. So it's perfect for people who like traditional Christmas, but it's also got a modern feel to it as well. So it's a brilliant standby card. So we're going to go ahead and get started on its construction. It's a standard A5 card base. I'm going to use a textured card base for this one. It's just watercolour card, but obviously you can use whatever colour card you want. These are the sheets as they're printed off from the DVD. So as you can see, it's got all the elements you need, all your decoupage layers and all your backing paper layers, all cut or all at the right size. So all you have to do is cut them out and they're already pre-sized, so you don't even have to measure anything, and you have a choice of sentiments on here too. So I've already gone ahead and cut all my bits out in true TV style. I've actually used the Brother Scan and Cut to do mine because it takes about a fraction of the time it would do to cut it all out by hand. And I've gone ahead and pre-padded up my decoupage layers because you don't want to sit there watching me putting pads on the backs of snowmen's heads. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use some wet glue to put the base together, and I'm going to stick my card there so I can remember which way it goes. So there we go, and don't fall over, that's fine. Okay, so first of all then we're going to stick down the backing panel. So as I say, pre-measured so you don't even have to bother. So all we're going to do is just pop some wet glue on the back here. Now, I'm using wet glue on this one because, like I said, it is textured cardstock, so it does help to bind into the texture better than, say, a tape runner would do. So I like to use wet glue when I've got a textured cardstock, or whether if I've embossed it or anything like that. Okay, so we're just going to let it over. The other beauty of using wet glue, of course, is that you can position it. You've still got some time to get it positioned just right. So you can, if you've not got it quite right, you can just slide it into the right place. Okay, so that layers down. We're going to add our tartan band, which is going to go top and bottom about there, leaving about ½ an inch or ¾ of an inch-ish on that side. So again, I'm going to use wet glue. Just add a little bit on. And then we can stick that to the front. I think tartan at Christmas is such a traditional pattern. I don't know where it comes from. I don't understand why tartan is such a great Christmas pattern, but it just seems to be. Okay, so we're now going to add our little snowman panel. Now on this card I'm not going to distress it at all. I'm not going to add any layers of distress ink, because even though it's a traditional style card, it is still quite modern. So I'm not really going to add anything like that, but I will add some bling at the end. So I shall just stick that down there and drop that on round about halfway, but just slightly over to the right, about there. That looks good to me. Okay, the next piece I'm going to put on is going to be this little tartan banner across the bottom there. So, but I think I'm going to put it just so it's across the bottom of that. So again, I've already taken the lid off, haven't I? Just going to add a little bit of wet glue across there. The beauty about these cards is that once they're cut, once they're all cut out, they're so quick and easy to construct, and you can really go to town on them. If you wanted to, you could add all sorts of gems and pearls, bits of lace if you wanted to go a bit more traditional. Okay, so that's our base so far. I'm now going to add the first layer onto our card for our snowman. So again, as I said, I've already pre-padded up. So I'm just going to whip the backs off. There we go. And then add that to the card front there. Now if you didn't want to bother with the decoupage layers, then you can stop there and then just add the rest on. But I'm going to go all the way because that's what I do. And just take those off. Again, if you're a perfectionist, then to hide any raw edges on your decoupage layers, you can use a pencil or a pro marker just to hide any raw edges or any imperfections in your cutting out if you're doing it by hand. I've started to use distress markers because these are water based, which means if you go over, if you just manage to catch it and go over, you can just wipe it off the front because you've got that little bit of time just before it sets. But so a pencil, any kind of alcohol pen will do it, or if you, like me, like that little bit of flexibility, you can just use a water-based one to do it, or even coloured pencil will do it. You can get a set of coloured pencils from the supermarket for really, really inexpensive. You don't have to go to the expense of buying Prismacolor pencils or anything like that just to do the raw edges to cover it up. So here we go with the last of the snowman's face. Again, just being careful not to catch it. That piece is a little bit delicate on his hand, or his mitten anyway. So I want you to line that up with the base of his scarf and then place it over the top, just like so. Okay, now again, the last layer is just his hat and his scarf, so that really gives him a bit of depth, as though he's buried underneath all his wool. But you don't have to put this layer on if you don't want to. I suppose that's the beauty of making your own cards. You can put as many of the layers on as you want. You don't have to put anything on. So you can just put the topper on as it was. There we go. So that's the Snuggly Snowman. You see the depth in there already. Looking pretty good. Okay, so just to finish off then, what we're going to do is I'm going to add my sentiment on. I've chosen the dark Happy Christmas. There is a gold version and there is also a season's greeting, so you can pick and choose. I'm just going to add this on the bottom right hand corner there. I've cut out my little paper bow, give it a little bit of dimension just by curling the edges, and then I'm going to stick that just in that top corner there, just so it's sticking out a little bit, just minding that it's not coming over the edge there, because otherwise it won't stand up. And then to finish off, I'm going to flip round, and with my wet glue I'm just going to put 3 little blobs in a row, and that's where I'm going to put my little faux buttons. Now again, faux buttons are included on the sheet. What I'm going to do is just drop that over. I'm using a PVA base glue so that if it does squish out a little bit, it will dry completely clear. So down there, and then the final one, let's drop that in like so. You've still got plenty of time to even them out to make sure that they are in a row, equally spaced. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is just add a little bit of Christmas red stickles just to the berries on his hat there. And that is me done. There you go. So one complete card done in under 12 minutes once you've been cut out. So again, you can put glossy accents on the on his eyes and his nose, or you could put some glitter on the pom-pom on his hat. In fact, let's do that. Let's put a little bit of clear, or the ice, I think it's the ice equivalent. Just make sure I get it moving. There we go. And that will just add a little bit more texture and depth to it. So again, these will take about 20 minutes or so to dry, and they will dry flat, so there'll be no problems with your smearing. So there you go. So one really cute Christmas snowman in traditional colours, and I'm sure anybody who gets that will absolutely love it. Okay, so I'll get ready for the next one.